This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
I'm Kelly Thompson, and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
This is Brian Edward Hill, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Two Drunks and a Weirdo show.
This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by apple juice. Delicious, wholesome apple juice.
Green tea!
Oh, sure, Phil. Green tea.
That's enough for me.
It's Friday night, Capes and Lunatics.
And we're begging for your endorsements, your product endorsements. That's right. Capes and Lunatics, 93, inching ever so closer to 100.
That's what she said.
Already. Starts right now. Hello and welcome to the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil, and joining me as always, which drunk shall I get to first?
Pick me!
The man who is restrained for the moment in pants.
Yes. Uncharacteristically, it's Charlie, the pants Professor Esser tonight.
And down in Florida, the Kahlua Queen.
Hey y'all, it's Lil Hellfire. It's Friday night, so you know it's gonna be a good one.
It's Lil Hellfire until that Kahlua kicks in, and it'll be the demon that resides in Lil Hellfire.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
There's no Lilith, only Zool.
Charlie, next time someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes!
Yes. That's a great how it should have ended about that.
What do I tell
Yes. I have to wear pants because I'm going to a friend's birthday party later.
Okay, so we'll not keep you too long, sir.
So you're not... So you're not arriving in the cake. Gotcha.
No.
Wait, that's what I want for my birthday now.
Charlie Esther in a cake.
Oh, you better be careful what you wish for, Lil Hellfire.
Nobody ever comes to visit me down here. It's fine. It's fine. I only live in paradise. When you guys are up there in thunder, snow, tornadoes, sunshine. Just saying.
Where do you think all the criminals run to? Florida.
Florida Man, the best superhero ever. Fight me, nerds. Off the rails already, Philip. Great moderator you are.
Is Charlie concentrating?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. His computer just randomly rebooted. He said he'll be right back.
Okay. Let's talk.
All right. I was going to say, did you watch Doom Patrol? I just watched it before we jumped on. So.
Yes, I did.
Since Charlie didn't watch it. So Cyborg, I'm just like with Titans. When I was here, I'm like, why are we doing Titans? I'm just here for a solo Dick Grayson show. I don't know.
I'm here for a solo Cyborg.
This Cyborg, yeah, I might be here more for a solo Cyborg. If we can't have him in Titans, I'd almost rather have a solo Cyborg than Doom Patrol. Is that a sign that the DCU's at least
it's
Justice
League
part's done? Yeah, because they usually don't like to mix them, but I'm like...
Yeah, it's done.
But I like the Cyborg, did you?
Yeah, I like Doom Patrol. I didn't think I was going to like it. But it's like, Umbrella Academy came out at the same time. I'm actually a fan of the comic book, but I do not like the Netflix adaptation of it. So I was kind of like watching that both at the same time, and I really think that Doom Patrol actually came out ahead. And I saw a lot of people kind of saying that as well. So I'm kind of happy. Because I know people were kind of like on the fence about like Titans, but when people saw like the first trailer for Doom Patrol, they're like, oh, this is kind of different. This is kind of quirky. I feel like this is what's needed. It's not so dark. Yeah.
Do you think with Doom Patrol, it's just because there aren't as high, not as high expectations, but they weren't as much of a household name as Titans were?
Exactly. Like, none of these people, like, you have to be, like, it's super niche.
You have to be a super comic book fan.
Super nerd to even care about anybody. You know, outside of Cyborg, which is, like, not the classic Doom Patrol anyway, so.
I know, I'm like, why is Cyborg here?
I guess they needed a person of color. They already had Starfire on Titan, so they're like, we need to not have this cast be so white.
Or a Cyborg like their bridge. You're like, oh yeah, people know Cyborg. They don't know the rest of the characters, but
I don't know though. I still feel like I mean they have bigger names too on Doom Patrol too.
Oh, true. But did I hear correctly? I thought I heard did they say Cyborg is like their bridge to like the I don't know if he's gonna show up on Titans eventually.
Yeah,
but like,
I heard that when Titans came out, everybody was complaining, "Where's Cyborg?" Don't worry, he'll show up eventually.
But he's gonna be the link between like all these live action shows.
Yeah.
Oh, is he gonna show up in Swamp Thing then?
I don't think that makes sense, but maybe they'll have one of those big CW style crossovers eventually.
I was gonna say I didn't know if Doom Patrol was gonna make sense for Cyborg because I mean you already have like a robot man.
Yeah, but his humanity's completely kind of gone, whereas kind of Cyborg's the opposite side of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's more machine than man. I really feel like this particular version of Cyborg is more man with just a little bit of machine.
Yeah. He has like that classic like Perez era look. Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's not like Mother Box technology like we complain about either.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just him and his father put him back together. Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I thought that the cinematography was great. The scoring was great. It has really great high production values, more so than Titans even.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it had a lot of comic book moments. Like I was just really surprised. I was like, "Oh, I remember this!" Like the painting one come inside.
Mm-hmm.
That was straight, like literally a comic book panel recreation. I really appreciated that. It was nice, small touches throughout the whole.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with Doom Patrol, like the comics, as like I am usually with this stuff. But I think Alan Tudyk's killing it as Mr. I like the Mr. Nobody.
It's Alan Tudyk, first of all.
Wow, yeah,
What's up, brown coats?
just as the narrator, Nobody and like the narrator.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he would have done better at that in Powerless too. Like they shouldn't have made him he's better on the fringes.
Yeah.
And any fan of Alan Tudyk will be like, yeah, you can't like make him the main thing. He needs to be on the fringes. That's where he shines.
Yes. There he is.
Here I am on the cellular phone.
That's all right. We were just discussing the new episode of Doom Patrol.
Oh yeah,
I have Charlie Esser would like.
I know it's something Charlie Esser would like, but they had put it behind a paywall, and I don't climb those. Who do they think I am? A little of Hellfire? I got
Daddy
like no.
Warbucks, of course. Everybody's Daddy Warbucks. That's why DC's cutting their damn comics down to 7 comic books a month.
They build a paywall. They build a paywall to keep Charlie Esser out.
Yeah, well, probably, yeah, because they don't want me revealing all their secret plot beforehand.
The dimensional portal was in a goat. I mean, this is something Charlie Esser would like.
The dimensional portal wasn't a goat. Wow,
it literally was in a goat.
They stole that from Gravity Falls.
And they brought Cyborg and
Sorry to bring it to you. Doom Patrol's been around before Gravity Falls.
And like we were saying, Cyborg showed up finally in this episode. It's the second episode. A lot better Cyborg than was in the Justice League movie.
Although I'm just gonna say, Smallville version of Cyborg is gonna be my favorite, but this is a good close second runner up.
Because he's not Mother Box Tech and all that other crap. It's like the original origin, like his father, like putting it back together and stuff. Yeah, it's a lot like sleeker look.
Okay, Lilith, I loved Smallville Cyborg. Don't get me wrong.
Here we go.
I wish he had some external bionics, because I think it kind of cheats the Cyborg issue. I mean, I think Cyborg is meant to be a little put upon in the universe. As
I appreciate it because as a black man, he didn't need to be any more put upon than what he was.
Now that is a fair enough aspect, and I will agree with that, because I've always been a little uncomfortable with Cyborg in general for many reasons. But that was the guy that DC sort of chose to be their big African American hero.
Him and Jon Stewart.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least he's not Blade.
Yeah, that's a discussion for another day. Definitely.
Well,
that's a discussion for the latest issue of Avengers, which we'll get to when we talk.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Marvel's learned their lesson there. Now it's Black Panther, which is a lot better.
Yeah,
Which is
but
kind of the opposite pendulum, the way that they're currently. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, but I mean, at least he's not like an.
Overcorrection. That's all that
He's not. He's not like a monster like Blade is. You know.
well, like I said, I got a lot of. Okay, Phil, you read the recent issue of Avengers, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Lil read it.
Of course
Lil
it did.
read it. Great.
Twitter made me do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna again. I'm switching back to the computer. Just take a second. 1 second. I don't know if I can join.
We're going to
twice,
have
but
two
let's see if I can.
Charlies, so it's going to be out of hand for a second.
Okay. Okay.
Who are you? Who are you? The jackal? You just cloned yourself.
Okay. And this one's gone, and this is just the me now. There we go.
Oh, man, Charlie did it! Yay!
If one Charlie was not enough, now you have two. There we go. It's better on the computer for me. But I was glad I could get back. No, okay. So let me just say this right now. You don't need to put Blade on the Avengers. Because Blade is basically Jefferson Midnight and has the exact problem that Jefferson Midnight has. If you don't have Blackulas, he has nothing to do. In Blade's case, it's actual vampires. But this is okay, for those who don't know, if you watch the Venture Brothers, Jefferson Midnight is a great character. I love him dearly. His whole thing is he fights Blackulas. And all the other characters, because they're all white, have a hard time saying Blackulas.
Yes.
But he says, what, you mean African-American vampires? No, Blackulas. Because what if I'm in England? Am I going to fight an African-American vampire in England? No, I'm fighting a Blackula. That's his whole shtick. I love it. I love Jefferson Midnight. He's great. But the problem is that the minute you bring Blade onto your team, you gotta sort of give him a reason to be there.
Yeah, but I think this is just like a temporary thing. Like Doctor Strange was in the first.
We've been here before with this, though.
Yeah, Doctor Strange.
Although he wasn't Blade, but we've been here before.
Yeah, but I mean, Doctor Strange was in the first arc. I think they kind of said that's like a rotating chair. Yeah. So there's vampires here now, so they brought in a specialist. I think that's what that chair is. They're gonna, that's their guest star chair.
Except Philip, you may not be aware of this because we know Deadpool isn't. But the fact of the matter is that people write these stories. They make a decision. Okay, let's put Blade in the chair. Now we're going to bring in vampires. And I got to be honest with you, the whole Shadow Colonel story is not working for me. Aside from the fact that he's clearly a bad leader, because he's clearly like, oh, just kill all the baby vampires. That makes sense for reasons. Really? Like,
they might have been on Google Trend and said what's trending, what's projected to trend during these particular months, and it might have been vampires. We don't know.
It's Jason. It's Jason Aaron. He likes to go over the top. It kind of worked on Thor, but here not so much.
Yeah, but okay. First off, aside from just totally ripping off Cobra Commander. It's like, oh, he's got, no, Cobra Commander, not Serpentor. Okay, do not bring Serpentor's filthy name into my house, Philip. There is one leader of Cobra, that is Cobra Commander. That's why he's Cobra Commander.
He doesn't have no Genghis Khan DNA in him.
Don't even get me started. Sergeant Slaughter DNA. Okay. That is.
I don't want to know what you did after WrestleMania one year. I do not want to know.
Jumping a shark. Sergeant Slaughter. And of course this is.
Focus. Avengers 15. Avengers 15.
You know, Slaughter did a heel turn as soon as he was in the G.I. Joe comic. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't people understand these things?
Enough, Sergeant Slaughter. Back to serious talk. Avengers and vampires.
Yeah, so
serious talk on Capes and Lunatics.
So really,
wipe your chin, Will.
So really, it is just such a forced thing, just so they could put Blade in it. And it's like, first off,
I'm trying to remember the sequence of events. Did they get word that there was vampires, and then they sent the Wasp to get Blade?
Well, yes, that's how it played out.
Well,
but the fact
you just don't like the storyline, and it's okay, Charlie. It's okay not to like the storyline.
Your house is infested with cockroaches. You get an exterminator. Blade is a vampire exterminator.
Yeah, and I also didn't like the Howard Stark wanting this. I mean, the whole Dracula Tony Stark storyline.
Well, again, are you going to take Dracula's word? Maybe Dracula's just saying that to anger Tony.
Which is what I thought until he's saying it when Tony's not around.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm like, come on, don't just step on Howard Stark like that, you know?
All fathers are crap now. Don't you know that? That's like a trend.
They used to be good dads. I don't know.
No, now it's coupon dad. Sorry.
It's comic.
Sorry you had to live to see this.
It's comic book 101 these days. It's like you either have the pain of like watching your parents get killed or your parents are horrible.
Okay, this is my phrase.
Or you find out Thomas
All
Wayne
the best cowboys
killed
have daddy issues. Come on, people. That's what it is.
Maverick never had a daddy issue. He always talked very glowingly of Pappy. Of course, Maverick is meant to be a parody of the Western, which is why it's such a good show. Although Gunsmoke did its own parodies of itself too.
All right. All right. Do you have any
I'm talking old people TV now.
Do you have any other thoughts on Avengers, or should we move to more TV?
On.
Well, we discussed it last night, but we didn't get Charlie Esser's thoughts on Gotham.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's mostly because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
so here's as far as I saw. I saw Joker has made the Waynes, Jeremiah, whatever.
He's not the real Joker.
Joke with no punchline.
Honestly, he wants to be part of Bruce's life, so he's. And here's the thing:
he's the Carrot Top of Jokers.
I would not insult Carrot Top in that way.
Wait. Before Muscles or after Muscles Carrot Top? Let's be clear.
Which one was less funny?
None of them.
Give me Gallagher over Carrot Top. Just saying.
Well, you know, they all just want to be George Carlin. But
Gallagher.
Let me just say this. Okay, as far as I saw, first off, we've got sort of brainwashed Alfred, which I assume is him playing along for reasons, or maybe not.
No, Jerome actually hypnotized him.
Well, the Mad
Hatter. I know we got.
He had the
Can I just say I don't like that Mad Hatter is not a tech-based villain anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like that he's a hypnotist and not just a tech-based villain. I like Tetch as a tech-based villain because I think that's a cooler variation on it. And honestly, we're dealing with microchips in people's brains now. So how that aspect of Mad Hatter has been taken away from Mad Hatter, it's kind of annoying.
Unless they say that's where he learns it or something. Because remember, it's a prequel. I'm hoping there's some kind of thing there, but it's like such an intrinsic aspect of him. Well, it's a prequel. Maybe they're going to start him as like a simple hypnotist, but then he's going to learn from the chips, and that's how he develops his technology, you know.
Yeah, I suppose so. But he's such a good hypnotist, it makes you wonder why would he? It's like, you know.
Well, maybe it's going to backfire. Maybe it's going to backfire on him eventually.
I don't know. I don't know. But so I said, I haven't seen the whole episode yet. But I got to basically, I'm sort of at this point where it's like, why doesn't Bruce just say, well, you do know those aren't actually my parents, Jerome?
Oh, because I said last night I was all happy that he wasn't like Mom, Dad. Right from the jump,
okay.
he told Jerome, he's like, yeah, or Jeremiah, he's like, yeah, who are they? They aren't my parents.
Yeah, it's exactly. But that even.
But again, they were
like, a little frustrating.
They didn't never said who they were, but they were just like two innocents. Jerome pulled off the street and hypnotized and had plastic surgery done on. So I mean, Bruce was basically there just to save them and Alfred, even though he didn't know who they were.
Yeah, it was a strange story. I mean, I haven't seen the whole thing. Maybe it gets better at the end, but I was a little. It doesn't.
It ends at Ace Chemicals.
I'll be honest with you.
Guess who ends up in the chemicals?
In the Mountain Dew, the toxic Mountain Dew.
Take my joke.
Jerome, I guess.
Yeah, Joker origin. Yeah, no, Jeremiah.
Okay, but didn't he already get like? That's the thing is like, isn't he already Jokerized? It's like, what's dropping him into chemicals going to do?
Burn all the skin off and put him in a coma. Apparently,
it's Gotham. It's Gotham. They're not too subtle.
Oh yeah.
If you get fingered out the first time.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But, here's what I'll say. I like the Ace Chemical origin story. This is actually one of the things I was thinking about recently. You realize that he was a nice guy until that horrible accident trope, which has been neglected by so many comic book mythos of late, actually got resurrected in the Alan Moore. I'm going to say something nice about Alan Moore, so you may want to write this down. Alan Moore actually had a good idea to resurrect that, to pay tribute to the classic idea of the nice guy turned evil by that horrific accident. And they've actually sort of paid homage to that very much so in Jeremiah, who was a nice guy turned evil by his brother's machinations. So I like that aspect of it, because I do like that idea that, that what differentiates the hero from the villain is that one bad day. Because at its core, it even suggests that there is always room for redemption, which is why I do like the concept of the White Knight, even though I have not read it yet, because I only think that it would probably just not be as good in execution as it is in my mind.
Comic Capers, episode 1.
Yeah. But that's the idea, I like the idea, and I do, as I said, I'll give more first off, always give more props that he can tell Apache's story very well. I wish the guy had original ideas.
What a backhanded compliment.
He doesn't have original ideas, but you know what?
Take your drink, it counts.
Chug it. Give him a backhanded compliment. Give him a backhanded compliment. Chug.
Yeah. All I can say is, when you sell your soul to the devil, you get what you've always dreamed of, but there's always a negative consequence to it. So he got to be one of the greatest comic book writers in the world, but he could never create his own ideas. I mean, that's what happened. That's what happened to him. Hey, and he'll tell you he does dark sect magic all the time, and that's what happened. It's a pretty obvious storyline when you look at it. It's like, oh, you made a deal with the devil. The devil gave you great ideas, but they're not your ideas, and you'll always know that, and you're haunted by it. And that's sort of the sad story of Alan Moore.
Moving right
along. I know Charlie watched it. Lilith, did you watch the Orville?
I only got to the first 20 minutes.
What? What?
I know.
Cliffhanger. It ended on a cliffhanger.
I know they're on a guy's planet and they're exploring it or whatever.
Oh my lord.
Okay, then I'll wait till next week to watch both episodes. Cool, thanks. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
It is. It is.
But they're all good episodes, but
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about it on the television subreddit, and yeah.
Betrayed.
They're saying it's like that one episode of Star Trek. And I'm like, it's all like one episode of Star Trek. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, you know what I recently realized? Brandon Braga is the executive producer of the show.
Who's that?
Who is Brandon Braga? Who is Brandon Braga?
Wasn't he a producer on Next Generation?
The executive producer of Next Generation.
Oh.
He is the guy. He is the guy who basically created Next Generation out of whatever ramblings that a delightful aging Gene Roddenberry happened to espouse. And no, Brandon Braga is the force of Next Generation. And
he was a writer-producer on Next Generation, yes.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Brendan, no, but that explains everything to me. That Brendan Braga and Seth MacFarlane got together, and this is their baby, and that makes so much sense to me.
They were like, his wife said no, his kids said no. That's okay, we'll do our own parody.
Yeah, well, you know what? Probably, honestly, well, first off, I don't even know what. First off, Seth. Well, I don't know. Was he still married to Rachel Barrett when he died, or was he onto a new wife by then?
Roddenberry?
I thought she still had the rights, though, regardless of who he was married to at the time.
Yeah, well, no, I thought they were actually married together forever, because, for what it's worth, I think him and Majel actually had a very very close relationship and you know, a Hollywood understanding, as you do. You know, and no shame in that game. I'm not faulting anyone on that storyline, because that's, if they have love and they have commitment, that's all that really matters, quite frankly. We don't need your puritanical judgment, Lilith.
To each their own.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Bill, your future husband just jumped to your defense.
Oh, Tristan, your man.
Oh.
Your pantsless future husband.
What did you have to say, Philip? You had an idea. You're not using sound effects.
I was gonna say, Charlie, we can get more into the Orville tomorrow on Super Connectivity. Did anyone watch last night's Big Bang Theory?
I got home late last night because I got comic books last night, so I could talk comic books.
Okay, we'll get the comic.
I got home at like 11 o'clock, Phil, and I tried my best to watch television.
I'm sorry, I didn't check the time.
What was this? When is the finale? Because we're going to be doing a special episode on it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the date for the last episode yet, but last night was Will Wheaton's. They found out about Will Wheaton's secret celebrity-filled Dungeons and Dragons weekly game he has.
Oh my gosh! Every nerd boy's wet dream, there. With
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kevin Smith, Joe Manganiello, and William Shatner.
Oh, is that what he was on about on his Instagram with his stupid shirt?
They finally got Shatner, yeah.
Yeah, I knew Shatner was on. So here's the thing: do they only reference Joe Manganiello as
Well, when Leonard's telling Penny about it, he says, "Oh, you know the werewolf guy from True Blood," and she's like, "The guy from Magic Mike," and then all the girls are like, "Oh." Like,
okay.
And that's the exact reaction you should have for Big Ricky. I'm just saying that's the exact reaction you should have.
And Amy's trying to like jump him the whole time.
Okay. As you do.
As you might, I guess. I'll go along with it. I mean, you know.
I was like,
Magic Mike is an excellent story for people of all ages and sexual orientations.
Oh, right. Oh, all the girls.
I've only heard good things about Magic Mike.
All the girls on the show and Raj were talking about Magic Mike.
Hey, and don't knock Magic Mike XXL either. Don't sleep on that one either.
Don't sleep on the XL.
I'm just saying. You know, I have nothing against Magic Mike. That sounds great. I just think it's funnier to think of him mostly as Flash Thompson.
Oh, yes! Oh, my God. We were saying that when we did the review.
Because that's his big break. Exactly.
I wouldn't want to fight me neither.
Yeah, you know.
That's baby. That's like baby Joe.
No, I was sitting
there
every time they went to Manganiello. I was like, oh, the Deathstroke that could have been.
The Deathstroke that will be, damn it.
Are you sure?
If I have to make it from the sheer will of force and kickstart
wait. He was the Deathstroke at the end of Justice. Whatever.
Yeah, he was the one talking to Baby Lex, yeah.
Yeah, well, they can bring him back. They're bringing Wonder Woman back.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're good, they bring you back.
He was on for like a minute or two. How do you know?
Yeah, exactly. So not enough time to be
good.
bad.
Yeah, I know.
And in Hollywood, bad is a positive, good is a negative.
I just didn't know if he had
if
the stink on.
If you're not bad, you're good.
Yeah, I mean...
So
it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen. Don't you worry. I have to find new sources.
Here's the thing: he's under contract. No one walked out of that film saying, "Oh, how could they cast Joe Manganiello?"
Oh no, there were people. There were people.
Really?
There's always people.
Well, there's always people. There are people that said, "What a bold and great interpretation of Lex Luthor." You know, there are those people too.
Oh yes.
You communists! You better shut your mouths and let Joe Manganiello be Deathstroke.
He should be the Deathstroke in the TV show. That's all I'm saying. That they were kicking around.
What TV show?
It was a TV show that's being kicked around.
Oh, a Deathstroke TV show.
Oh, another one.
Because the DCEU is dissolving rapidly. Thank you, AT&T, for making my dream of burning DC down to the ground. Thank you.
Because I mean,
they haven't figured it out yet. They're working on it though.
Because there was that link from like a day or two ago. Supposedly DC's cutting back on more of their comics.
I could have told you that when my two sources got
okay.
I was like, that's not good.
Here's what blows my mind about this whole thing. They're cutting back comics. Meanwhile, they're expanding the Wonder line. So they have an entire other imprint called, Wonder Comics, which I've only read like 3 Wonder comics. I haven't read a bad one yet.
Yeah, but it's like, except
the numbers don't lie. What's doing well, they want to do well at, and what's not doing well.
And except for Naomi, everything else is like a known property. Young Justice, Wonder Twin, Dow H. All that's known.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
So.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's a David F. Walker thing. It's a David F. Walker thing. Bendis is attached, and they're working together.
Yeah,
but I'm sure that David F. Walker
the bad on that book.
David F. Walker. First off, Naomi. I don't know if any of you were ready to, and I love where he's going with it. It is a great. It's a fascinating idea about, and I'm assuming what it's about because we haven't gotten that much yet. But to see where pieces are being put on the board, you go, oh, okay, and it's like, what if a super criminal who had warrants but just wanted a life, and then all of a sudden one day a superhero shows up, and is it like, oh hey, you got warrants, dude, and I'm a superhero, so I got to mess up your stuff, or is it like, oh, there's a superhero and I got warrants, I better go punch him before he sees me because I got warrants, and it's a really interesting take on stories. I'm assuming all that, but I can totally see this idea of some guy who has power, who is from Iron Heights. That's where he's from, and it's an interesting. But there's also clearly this effort to cover it up, and I'm really fascinated by the that David is laying, and I'm really excited to see the next one. Dial H for Hero, I'm excited about, but I have no idea where it's going to go with it because I've never really understood where Dial H for Hero goes. Basically, dial up a different superpower every time, right? Well, yeah. It basically strikes me as like some kind of like. I don't know exactly what it is. Although, like I said, I always found it fascinating to have a millennial looking at a rotary dial phone that has a cord attached to it, and even knowing what that is. Well, they invented it back in the day, a rotary phone. So, well, exactly. But it's like it's this idea of this thing and this symbology that really should have no meaning to this. What is this strange device that it's coming towards me? So that is interesting to me on that level. But I'm all in on Wonder Comics. Oh, I have to issue a correction, and I have to apologize for this. They do explain what Thunderlust is in the Wonder Twins, but because I was reading that digitally, I actually did buy the book, but I uploaded it digitally to read on the train. And sometimes when you read a comic digitally, your thumb will hit something and you'll skip like a couple pages. So I missed the explanation of Thunderlust. So when we got to the Thunderlust, I was like, okay, so he has Thunderlust. What does that even mean? But he actually does a whole report on Thunderlust, which is like, okay, yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I thought I'm like, I remember that page. I'm like, didn't they explain that?
They did, and you should have called me out, Phil.
Oh, it's easier said than done. Easier said than done.
No, you gotta have courage, Phil.
So
what makes the Hottentot so hot, Phil? What puts the ape in apricot?
Whoa.
Equality.
Bing. Oh, apricot.
I gotcha.
No, it's apricot. Didn't you ever watch The Wizard of Oz? Don't you know the whole courage monologue by the lion?
Yeah, I've seen Wizard of Oz. I don't have it committed to memory. The book's better, and Wicked's even better than that. So,
Well, I'm just gonna say, what makes the elephant charge his tusk in the misty mist or the dusky dusk? What makes the muskrat guard his musk?
That is a lot of double entendres. I'm just saying.
It's in the butt.
Whoa! We should have had that drop for Gotham.
I know what.
Joker wanted some of Bruce, bro. I'm just saying.
Well, that erotic fixation, that is typical of DC's.
I said there's other times I don't see it, but oh man, Gotham. Last night I'm like, just ask him to kiss you already. It just he was just like, I wanted to be part of your big night, Bruce, and I
told you it's a reference to No Man's Land that they finally got.
Charlie, there were so many references like '89 Batman and other Batmans, but I'm like, I even got like Lego Batman flashes because he was like, tell me you're my, it just reminded me of Lego Batman. Tell me I'm your favorite, your number one villain, and.
No, it's that plucky Cal Kent 693 at metropolis.net. That's his true villain.
So it was a good week for me for comic books. I don't know about you boys.
I actually got like tons of them for once. I actually read a bunch. I know what Lilith's favorites were. Conspiracy.
Ooh, Conspiracy.
Yeah, well, that's one we talked about. Oh, we did actually. That was offline.
Yes.
This is the book that we were recommending to Lilith. Pick it up, Denver Airport Conspiracy from Zenescope Publishing. Got an ad for this thing called Robin Hood by...
Oh, yeah, I've heard good things about that one.
Lily Simmons. Honestly, it looks like fun. It's Green Arrow, but with a chick. So.
I was going to say, it looks like Oliver Queen, but a chick.
Well, it's Robin Hood, and Oliver Queen is a rip-off of Robin Hood, so yeah,
No, I'm just saying the
rip-off of a rip-off of a rip-off.
I'm just saying the costume looks similar.
Yeah, but Conspiracy Theory, like I said, you open this book the minute you start exactly how it's going to play out. But like I said, what sold was that there again, between the boy and his African-American, who is a conspiracy theorist, explain to him all of the things he does not know about this book. And then next month we get the conspiracy of social media. So it's interesting. I may well pick up number 2.
Facebook is really dark, but yes, expose them. Sorry.
I also, of course, read Naomi, episode 2, which we were talking about. Really good book. No code, DC. Why you hating? You can, you get more readers by sharing than by not sharing.
They're learning the Netflix method.
Need all the help you can get.
Yeah, well, honestly, not for nothing. It's like, oh, I can see this, but then maybe if I like it, I'm going to go buy it myself.
Marvel has a code in every issue, and guess what? They're doing better than you.
Yeah, and then talk about the variant covers that make you buy a book. Teen Titans. Really good book. And what I liked about it was, even though it is a variant cover, Roundhouse does have a good storyline. It's a very homey human storyline, and we get Djin's origin, which is nice. Yeah, I highly recommend it. And man, being a Chinese superhero, and your mom's all about Kenan Kong, and it's like, I'm a superhero too, Mom. It's like, yeah, of course you are, sweetheart.
Tough tiger mom love, bro.
Yeah, really, really, really. Oh, hey, and let me say my favorite thing this week in comics, and maybe it's been there for a while, but I stopped reading expressly because of this problem. Squirrel Girl, digitally. 1 second, let me get to her. So my biggest problem with Squirrel Girl has always been the interstitials. I love the interstitials. They're funny, they're hilarious, they're delightful. They're what makes Squirrel Girl a book. But when you digitally, you often can't see it. But now, there it is. They've made the interstitial, it's its own panel now. The interstitial, and that is amazing. And it makes me very happy. So, I'm very excited about that. Very disappointed by Conan number 3 putting Skrulls on the cover.
Bait and switch.
Writing Conan verse on the cover. Ooh.
Gotta get that Captain Marvel tie-in.
Oh, and I actually read Bitterroot on time. Still a great book.
Number 4, right?
But number 4, that's what it says. Number 4, Bitterroot number 4. Continues to be good.
Get Dan Walker on the phone.
Yeah, get him on the phone.
Yeah, call
It's a
him right
good
now,
book.
Phil.
Look, Charlie Esser's all choked up.
Yeah, no, I got a cold and it won't go away. But I highly recommend Bitterroot. It's a great book. If you're not reading it, you ought to be. And then for super connectivity, I got to read this tomorrow.
Marvel Team Up 113.
This was my buyback. See, when I go to the comic book store and I buy a lot of comics and I see something, ooh, that's cool. That's in the video, but they say, take it, enjoy it. That's my buyback. So this was my buyback. Cost me nothing because I'm a good brick and mortar guy who goes in every week. And they say, yeah, take a book. So this is, and I have to read this before super connectivity, and then listen to the Quantum Zone, which you can tell Lola isn't on it because they go like 4 or 5 hours every episode.
Oh!
No, we don't.
He's mad because you put him on a
You guys are like worse than Wait What? That's all I'm saying.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, no.
I started listening to Quantum Zone, and I love it. And I'm like, well, how much is left on this? Like, that's like way more than like 2 train rides.
Since the
Don't make me come quality check you.
She's another Rob Southgate. Anyway, no. Since the mandate came down, I've been keeping them to an hour. The episode just released today. It was like 53. The episode released today was like 53
And the
minutes.
one where you did the live read, I was very impressed.
Oh, you listened to it?
Yes, I did.
Ooh.
See, but he said that I have to like scroll down to get this one, so I don't know how long that's going to be. I'm going to try and listen to as much as I can.
I told you the easiest way.
We're not doing super connectivity until the afternoon tomorrow, so I got time.
Because I got to work. Yeah.
Boo.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
I told you, YouTube, go to the playlist. It's the easiest way to find the old episode.
Wait, you have Apple? Oh, wait, no, you don't. I was going to say you both have Apple phones, and you can just send them the exact link, but you don't. You're an Android person like me.
You're both androids.
Paranoid Android.
Right.
Sorry.
But Lilith, you want to talk about the books you like this week?
Yeah, Aquaman just happened to be the best book on DC side. That's not saying much, but yeah.
Amnesiac Aquaman.
Oh yeah. I enjoyed the art. I enjoyed the story. The new villain. I always like a new villain, especially when it comes to Aquaman. So.
Nama, Mother of Death.
How did you like the new villain?
It was alright.
I was like, Aquaman is still technically kind of part god. I'm just saying, too. You want to really dig and stretch that whole thing, but okay.
Why is Aquaman a brunette now?
Jason Momoa. What do you
Are they suggesting that Aquaman dyes his hair?
Yeah, but that's like, isn't that some kind of,
That's a special, yeah, but they're gonna slowly, of course, because people have been slowly coming around to that Aquaman movie, they're gonna make it the move.
I like it, but then if he's not naturally a dirty blonde, here's what I'll say. I know Jason Momoa bleaches. Okay.
There's sun tendrils, damn it.
Yeah, okay. He's in there with the peroxide. There's a bottle involved, that's all I'm saying. And I get that, but
tendrils.
Here's the thing about masculine beauty. It cannot be manufactured. And if it is manufactured, you must lie.
Take it from the expert, Lil Hellfire, Charlie Esser.
I know that mustache doesn't wake up like that, I know.
No, you gotta do a lot of work. This is a lot of maintenance. This is effort. But that's how you get to be masculinely beautiful. You have to be beautiful, but not let it look like you did anything to make yourself. It's very complex.
I feel like John Stamos might want to have a word with you. He's not afraid to do the moisturizers and the hair gels, and that's Uncle Jesse was all John Stamos. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, yeah, but what I'll say about Uncle Jesse is he's getting paid to say that he uses those moisturizers. But Uncle Jesse would never have used the moisturizer in the show.
Yeah, he did.
He did?
He makes references to it all the... I am a Full House aficionado.
Okay.
He does. Hair gels and moisturizers, yes.
Okay.
Cut it out.
the worst person on Full House. That's
But you have to remember that was also at peak metrosexual at that point in history. So there was a brief moratorium on that sort of thing.
Poor women of the 80s. Anyway.
Poor women of all types. It's not like anything has ever gotten better for women. Let's be honest.
I was trying to be optimist, but fine since you brought it up.
They still gotta date dudes, so you know.
Oh, good lord.
I'm just saying, you know.
So anyway, Aquaman 45 was Lilith's DC pick of the week. What was your Marvel pick, Lilith?
It was Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 3.
Boom!
Wonder why.
With Under York, what?
Oh, Under York, yeah.
Charlie, did you read it?
Yeah, I read that. Yeah, I guess I missed an issue. I don't know where Under York comes in. I don't know. Do we need yet another subterranean world?
Yes, we do. You can never have enough subterranean world.
I mean, this was issue 3. As far as I know, this is the first they revealed Under York. So
yeah, but it's also like it's
like Futurama.
Well, no, that is because New York is built on top of Old New York, which is actually a real archaeological thing.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so you will find, in fact, in San Francisco, you can visit underground San Francisco, as I'm told. Where a previous version of San Francisco just sort of sunk into the earth, and they just.
Well, that's what happens when you build in a place that's earthquake prone.
So I don't know. And here's the thing, also about Under York, is it seemed to be like pan-dimensional, like it's another universe kind of thing, which I'm cool with. But then it's like, no, it's just underground. It's like, is it though? I mean, like, I don't know. That was bothersome. Honestly.
You can tell he really isn't a Spidey fan, because all that stuff don't bother me. I thought it was fun and cool. I like the artwork. I like the dark tone of it, because I feel like sometimes Spider-Man's a little too happy-go-lucky when he shouldn't be, so I think that Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man in general kind of finds that balance.
Yeah, I liked him getting shot. That was great. And having to deal with that. And
okay, Otto.
I know.
But Lilith,
I'm saying that in the moment of being shot, he has pathos and dramatic storytelling.
What's everyone think about this upcoming thing, Spider-Man Life Story? I guess it starts in the 60s, and it's what if Spider-Man aged in real time?
He'd be dead. That's what
the 60s weren't that long ago, Lilith.
Yes, they were.
50 years ago.
Like the 90s were forever ago.
Well, actually, technically 60s years ago. But that would only make him like 78.
He'd be dead.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell that to Old Man Logan. Okay.
No, he doesn't.
Tell that to Old Man freaking Quill.
Okay. Fine.
You know, I mean, really. No, old guys who used to be superheroes are a thing.
I know, but it shouldn't be. Unless your particular power set.
I mean, if Old Man Hawkeye can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah, I actually always thought that, like, a great story would be, what if Peter Parker had become Captain America? And the idea that he was a scrawny kid during the 60s gets drafted, and they put him in the Super Soldier program.
Don't mention Captain America to Lilith.
Well, his books are good right now.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but Lilith said Captain America ruined her enjoyment of Miles Morales. Spider-Man number 3.
That was awful. That was just awful.
Really?
Well, first off, the Snatcher as a character is just awful.
Yeah.
That sounds like somebody with small hands covered in Cheetos. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the Snatcher was just a bad character in general.
Now that I'm saying it.
And just having him fight she used all his powers to control Captain America, which is okay, that's good, but I don't know, I didn't like the dynamic. Honestly, I think the storyline could have worked fine without Captain America, and I think putting him in the story just kind of didn't work the whole story well. That's my opinion.
Was it just like I don't know if Miles needs a sales boost, or is it just like, oh hey, these two are cool now because remember the whole thing during Civil War II and stuff, and
yeah, but that I don't know. It's not like Tony and Steve need to mention that every time they meet.
White savior complex. They can't help themselves.
No, but they don't. That's my point. It's like, it's like maybe they mentioned it once, but... And it's not like Miles actually killed Captain America. He actually didn't kill him.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, it's a tradition, too, that Peter Parker basically teams up with everybody. So, are they going to try to do that with Miles now?
He's already teaming up with Rhino. He doesn't need a second team up in this.
So
I thought Miles and Rhino were doing great as it were.
So it would have been better if they would have waited till next arc to bring in Captain America.
Yeah, really. And not for nothing, Rhino's got warrants. And just have Cap saying, "Oh, hey, you got," just having Cap just walk the way on it is a little. It makes sense in context, but it also just emphasizes the idea that superheroes live by their own rules and they aren't bound by the laws and rules of modern society.
I could have seen with other writers, Cap trying to say, "Oh no, I have to take Rhino in," and then readers like Little Hellfire would have been like, "Oh, he's such a douche."
Well, yeah, but no, and I'm not saying he should have done that. But I'm saying it needs to be dealt with in some way.
Yeah.
He needs to, rather than, well, I guess you're being a good guy now, eh? Okay, I'll look the other way. Because that just makes Captain America seem super corrupt.
I know, but I kind of like Cap more like this, like more like a superhero than like, I'm an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I have to take you in,
Well, no, and I get that. But like I said, you could have just avoided the whole thing by not having an extraneous Captain America in this story.
Oh, yeah.
That's my whole point. It's like, I don't want Cap to bring Rhino in. I don't want Cap to say, well, now you go down, Rhino. I don't want him to be that guy because I don't think that's even really the right way to do Cap.
Yeah.
But I think that if you're going to do Cap dealing with, okay, I'm teaming up with Rhino, that is its own story.
I mean,
Cap teaming up with Rhino is its own story. You don't shoehorn it into the Miles story teaming up with Rhino.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think I enjoyed this issue the most out of all three of us, and even at the end of the issue too, I was like, oh, do we really need to bring? I mean, I had no problem with it, but I was like, do we really need to bring Cap in at this point?
Yeah, and just to bring the Congress lady in. I mean, which is just weird in its own level. It's like, Cap once said he actually didn't know who his congressperson was. Obviously, no, Cap didn't vote for a little while. I forget who was writing him then. But he had said, I'm ashamed to say it, but I don't even know who my congressperson is. That was sometime in the 90s.
Cap said that?
Cap said that.
It's typical. Captain America. It represents America.
Yeah, well, he was just talking about, because he tries not to be political.
He doesn't represent the government or the politicians. He represents every person in America.
He's just some dude who's a vet, who's got powers, and he tries his best to be a decent guy. That's literally the story of Captain America. So assuming that he is anything other than just some decent guy. But no, I think it was when they started the hotline. And I think he says it to Bernie. It's like, wow, I'm not quite sure what to do with all this, I think he made this point, actually, I really have no idea who my representative is.
Well, yeah, they gave him $1 million in back pay, and he says, "What am I going to do with this?" Well, here, the ordinary people can't get a hold of me, so I'll start a hotline.
I think that's what happened. I'm not quite sure that's when he said it, but I remember it very vividly because it is this thing. It's like, I'm not even. I remember him saying, "I'm not." I think he said he votes, but he wasn't even sure who his representative was. Who was local? Now he might have been talking like what the New York district representative is. We don't even know if that woman was in the New York Assembly or the Federal Assembly.
That was during the Mark Grunwald era, who also wrote Quasar.
Yes.
Hey, what about that Quasar
podcast, the Quantum Zone?
People love the Quantum Zone.
What about it?
And apparently now shorter for your enjoyment.
For easy bingeability. I'm a genius mastermind sometimes, okay?
Well, it's like some shorter. Anyway, I'm joking. I know. Oh Lord, Charlie's son's sleeping in his box again.
Yeah, one of those. They look comfortable.
They are. I'll be honest with you.
Well, you and Tristan are probably the same size, so it probably would work.
Yes, I am the size of your average 13-year-old boy.
He's actually 9, but okay.
Oh, okay. Have to wait even longer? What the heck? My liver's not going to hold out that long.
what I'll tell you is, what's funny about it is that Tristan, he had his complete choice of places to sleep. He had the chair, which he's been commandeering for me for the last few weeks. And he had the full couch, but he said, no, I'm building the bed. And he built his own bed.
He's sleeping in a box. Oh, he's pretending to be a bunny. He's really trying to get in Hellfire's good graces.
As you do.
So any other things you want to talk about, Philip? Saying sound effects.
Do I have to go saying sound effects?
No, of course not. You're Philip.
I know.
Right. You don't appreciate it at first, but then you're like, oh, I get it.
I was trying to decide what we should say for super connectivity tomorrow, but I think I got Charlie to read it. Lilith, did you read Wolverine Infinity Watch?
Never! Screw Wolverine!
Basically, Phoenix Wolverine came back in time and rebooted the whole Marvel universe.
I don't even know what was going on with all that. Honestly, I read it and I don't even know. I still want to know what Loki saw in the other universe. So.
You didn't have to read it, but I mean, the Return of Wolverine #5 came out this week, so like
I started reading it. I know that
he went right from that into Wolverine Infinity Watch.
Yeah. So here's my question, because it didn't finish. Is Persephone? You remember like Loki's grandkids?
Yeah.
Is she one of them?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no. She just had like a sign. No, it was supposedly all signs, but she had a specialist who could like bring back the extinct species.
Well, I know that. I've read that part. I read that far. I read it as pretty much as far as just before Wolverine's crashing the space station.
Yeah.
And then I ran out of time reading it. But
no,
I don't know.
As far as they never said any connection to Loki or anything. I mean, it could be, but they didn't say.
I'm just saying she's calling herself Persephone.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of her they still haven't revealed a lot of her backstory. She could be, but
I think she. What was that called? The Mount or something?
What?
The Mount. The guys that the Hulk hung out with. That
was their headquarters. The Mount, the Pantheon.
The Pantheon, yeah, and they're all named after, which I always thought was supposed to be a slut at Loki. We're gonna be all Greek heroes.
That Peter David first he insults Loki, then he insults Charlie Esser.
But anyway, yeah. But the Wolverine Loki crossover again, to say that it's probably Loki's granddaughter there, makes me, it was interesting. Like I said, I don't know. I wonder what the time bat does when Phoenix Wolverine gives him the time bat. Does that come in handy? I don't know if he used it at the end of the issue, but
making Wolverine Negan.
That's definitely Chekhov's time bat. Don't give someone a time bat. A time bat.
That's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, oh my god, they're making Wolverine Negan.
No, it's gonna beat you back to the Stone Age. I don't know what it does.
There's my jaw.
That's his one per episode.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know. I try my best. We can't all be. I love Ben Reilly.
No! I love Ben Reilly.
I know context a lot. It's all about context.
That doesn't need context. That's just truth.
Anyway. Yeah. So a lot of comic books this week, man. A lot of non-Marvel books on my end.
Yeah.
I gotta say that. And I like that in my declining years, I am finding other places to find entertainment. So I still have
pick up a damn Archie comic book, Philip.
Well, okay, let's not go too crazy. Archies are still...
No! Maybe main storybook Archies, but their spin-offs are pretty fun.
They're okay. They're okay. Here's what I'll say. If you're
enough, it's okay. It's fine.
If you're invested in Archies, it's like Amalgam or Infinity Warps. It's like, oh, hey, here's a great new take on a character I've known and loved for years.
Archie meets Predator, everybody should read. Everybody.
I'm sure it's delightful.
That's the one you'll be reading on Comic Capers, Philip. So just you. I think I'm going to bring them down for you in April.
Not Archie Meets the Punisher?
No, it's going to be Archie Meets the Punisher.
Wasn't that just a one-shot? I don't know.
After you make me read about Nate Gray more than not once, but twice. Oh, you're going to read some.
Oh, hey. By the way, can we talk? No, actually, I did finish it. Last week's Spider-Man Deadpool is Silk like infected with a techno-organic virus?
Maybe.
What's that about?
It's the apocalypse. They just like showed up and everything's gone to hell. So
yeah, I don't know, man. I was just like, and give no like backstory on that. It just struck me as weird.
Something to bait your breath.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. I did read that. I'm trying to catch up on old books now, so yeah. I still have to finish Squirrel Girl, but now that it's like all digital now, I can like finish it. And I have to read Brubaker's Criminal Number 1. So
try to catch up on old stuff. You know, there's this thing called the Clone Saga.
Nobody should ever have to go through that. That's more tedious than No Man's Land. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know enough about the Clone Saga to know that there are clones.
There was a saga.
I mean, it was supposed to be a 3-month story that thanks to the marketing department, they stretched out to like 2 years.
Well, people love Ben Reilly. What can you say?
I've heard that. I've heard that somewhere before.
You sure it wasn't all dripping in sarcasm every time you heard it? Because I feel like I love Ben Reilly. I feel like that's how people's responses
I don't hear sarcasm in that tone.
It's like Winter Soldier. It was meant to be just sort of this little side thing, and then it was like, everyone loves your Winter Soldier story, Brubaker. Write like 20 more. Like, I only planned to write like 10 of these. No, you got to write 40. Okay, in fact, make him Captain America, please.
Then we're going to put him in a movie.
Yeah, it's like, that wasn't what the character was meant to be. I'm sure Ben Reilly was meant to be like, oh, let's do a little fun thing. We'll do like a little side story.
He's the real Spider-Man. At Nightwing PDP.
He's not the real Spider-Man. He decayed into dust. Which is apparently what clones do because science. I don't know.
Because they wanted to drive the point home. Oh, no. This is the real Peter Parker.
Yeah, no,
he was the burrito Spider-Man.
You know, what is a real Peter Parker, as Otto Octavius would say? You know, it's like, is it really the Peter Parker? It's like, who's the real MODOK? Is it Brodok? Is it MODOK? Is it the MODOK that retired? Who knows? You know, they're all, you know, honestly, at this point, the universe has been rebooted so many times. Just call it a day.
Nobody knows for sure. One of the great mysteries.
Every week, it's Otto Octavius.
You think it was October?
Why did you leap Otto the Great One Octavius?
Because I can't say Otto F Octavius.
What's wrong with Otto Octavius?
I can say Otto Octavius, but I can't say Otto Octavius.
I'm just saying he was a nice guy before the accident.
I'm just doing it for dramatic effect.
And I'm trying to do a callback. Phil, quit stepping on my line.
All
right. Well, our hour's up. So
yeah. What more?
Shameless plugs.
Yes.
Yeah, build that social media I'm not using.
I know. He's never
the kids are on Twitcher now. I don't even know what a Twitcher is.
You gotta be on the gram, bruh.
Twitcher. That's 3 dates with Little Hellfire.
Lilith, I think Graham makes you sound like somebody's Graham. I'm just
Ooh!
That's why you're not hip. Everything that's old is new again.
I'm just saying that sounds like MySpace to me.
That's what the kids call it. You don't know.
As an old man, all I'm hearing on the media is about Twitch, and all everyone on YouTube is talking about is the Twitch, and I gotta do my Twitch plugs. And
no, you don't.
I'm not even on Twitch.
Twitch won't be around in about 4 more years, so don't you worry about it.
Yeah, that's what they're telling me. Except that's not what they're telling me. So that's all I'm saying.
From Amazon's perspective, as somebody that does developing on the back end, trust me on that. They got about 4 to 5 more years.
Yeah, that's what I said about Twitter.
Anyway, if any of you people would like to share your thoughts on what you've heard tonight, I don't know why you would, but anything comics, TV, movies, entertainment news, email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. We love feedback. Facebook.com/capesandlunatics, @capeslunatics on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. Capes and Lunatics on the gram. And the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And Lilith, where can people find you, Graham?
If you nerds want to find me not being on Twitch, you can find me on Twitter @LilithHellfire. And of course, kicking it on the gram @LilithHellfire86. And if you want to talk superheroes, especially Superman and or Smallville, find me @SaveMePod on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and or Instagram. No Twitch!
Cold, wet, hard nipples.
And if you,
Charlie,
ladies and gentlemen, would like to write to me in an old-fashioned email way, way Ma's and Pa's and Graham's once did, feel free to do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitters, not the Twitch, because that's where the young folks live, and I don't want them on my lawn. @Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIESSELSIA. Look for the 2 E's in the middle. For what?
For quality.
Bing!
There you go.
I love how when I'm editing freaking the Marvel Netflix shows, Charlie he's like, I'm so used to them doing it for me.
Charlie's just like 2 E's in the middle for quality. Come on. Bing. Come on, Mom. Catch up.
Is like 5 seconds like, oh wait, what? Sorry.
Gotta have a button. Anyway.
That's what she said.
Twitch. Anyway, for another week, we have been the Capes
Ampersand!
The Lunatics. Woo! We did it!
Yay. And off to adventure.
Visiting nursing homes with bad intentions.
Love you, Mac. That's right. Tomorrow night on YouTube, check out our first YouTube exclusive show. Greetings from Cybertron. Greetings from Cybertron. We're going to be covering
with who?
With Matt Kona of the Quantum Zone.
I love his last name.